Good morning, everyone. So excited to be here with y'all. Happy Wednesday. Before we dive in to today's episode, I have to tell you guys about my weekend. And honestly, it ties into perfectly what we're going to talk about today. So some of you may or may not know, but I just got back from Las Vegas. Yes, Vegas, for an early 40th birthday celebration with my sister and a really great friend. No kids, no husbands, just us. And can I just say it was everything? But here's the thing, right? So leading up to this trip, I had like 5 different moments where I almost talked myself out of going. You know what I'm talking about, right, moms? Yeah, I know. That mom guilt, right? That creeps in and it whispers all the things like, should I really be spending this money on myself? There's so much to do at home. Is it selfish to just leave? Am I too old for, a trip to Vegas for my birthday? Should I just be doing something maybe a little more responsible for my 40th? Like all of it, all of those thoughts, right? The whole guilt spiral that we as moms are so good at. But you guys, I went anyway and it all fell into place. And I'm so glad I did because there I was standing in the Sphere, which was a bucket list item for me. I was going at some point in my life, right? Which if you haven't seen it, it's absolutely mind-blowing and you need to go. But I also got to go to this Sphere and watch my favorite childhood band, boy band, that was on my wall when I was 12, 13 years old. So like all the stars aligned, right, for this early 40th birthday. And I'm singing every single word. Like Beefy's on, I see her. She's on. She asked me to send her some videos of me just screaming the lyrics. And that was what this weekend was. I was singing every single word to these songs that I memorized when I was like 13 years old. And, if that was around 2000 for you, when, you still had the CDs with the printed lyrics and the labels, and you would just be laying in your bedroom as a 13-year-old girl, like daydreaming, right? And just memorizing songs. And that was me. It was soccer and boy bands and Mariah Carey and Alicia Keys and No Doubt and, some other badass artists. I wasn't a total psycho, but I was a huge fan of the Backstreet Boys. And man, it took me back. We were just like total 90s babies. And I'm talking crimpy hair, chokers, lip liner, glitter, ice blue eyeshadow, the whole vibe. We were dancing, laughing until we cried, and just completely letting loose. And I haven't done that in a while, right? So in that moment, in the Sphere, just like losing my mind, something shifted. And I felt totally like a free me again, like not just, mom me, not just coach me, not just business owner me, just like not just someone that was like, constantly sort of worrying about what other people are thinking, but just me having pure, unfiltered, ridiculous fun, like insane. And I don't care if people were watching, judging. I did not give a flying, what. And that was maybe 40-year-old me stepping into that moment. I don't know, but I was really reliving my childhood and couldn't give a shit what anyone else thought, having the absolute best time, connecting with my sister, with my friend, just being like totally present and alive. And here's what I realized. That kind of joy, that kind of fun that makes you feel like a kid again, it doesn't make you a bad mom. It doesn't make you selfish. It actually heals something in your soul and it fills your cup back up so that you can come home and be an even better version of yourself for your kids, for your partner, for your business, for everything. And taking care of yourself is like this, right? Like whether that is a trip to Vegas to see the Backstreet Boys or making the time for your health and fitness, it's not taking away from anyone else, right? It's giving yourself what you need to show up fully in your life. So if you've been feeling guilty about prioritizing yourself, about wanting to feel good in your body again, about needing support during a confusing time like perimenopause, I'm here to tell you, let that guilt go and do the thing that's calling you because you won't regret it. You deserve to feel amazing. You deserve to invest in yourself. You deserve joy and health and support. And it was just the best time. And I wish that on everybody, every mom, to have an experience like that. Whether it's something simple like just starting out at OxFit Moms, and building some new friendships, or something crazy like a big milestone birthday and booking the trip that, you want to book. Just do it, right? All right. So before I get into the good stuff, I had to recap that weekend, right? And I'll just give some shout outs to the people listening here. Aunt says, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Beefy's listening. Let's go. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. All right. So let me get this situated here before we rock and roll. All right. I'm so pumped for this one. I had this one ready for y'all. Okay. So grab your coffee, a smoothie, your protein shake, get comfy. And let me tell you, today's episode is one I'm genuinely really excited about. So we're diving into a topic that's been coming up more and more in our coaching conversations with our amazing female clients. Ready for it? It's perimenopause. Or as I like to say, Peri-What? Now, before you think, oh, great, another depressing hormone talk, hold on. Because here's the thing. This one is going to be different. I promise. It's going to be real and it's going to be relatable. And by the end of this episode, you're going to walk away feeling empowered, informed, and most importantly, understood. You're going to realize you're not alone, you're not crazy, and there's actually so much that you can do to feel amazing during this season of life. So what exactly is perimenopause? Think of it as female adult puberty, but with bills, kids, responsibilities, and way less patience for nonsense. It's that phase of life, usually hitting somewhere in your late 30s to 40s, where your hormones start doing their own thing before menopause officially begins. Your estrogen and progesterone start fluctuating like a roller coaster that you never bought a ticket for. Your body responds differently to stress. Sleep gets real weird. Fat shows up in places that it never used to. And suddenly all of those things that worked so well for you in your 20s and early 30s, they just stop. Even though you're trying harder than ever. Sound familiar, right? Yeah, you're nodding, aren't you? So here's what I've been seeing. Over the past few months, and honestly, maybe this is because I'm also turning 40 this year and diving deep into this research myself, but I've noticed a real pattern. Woman after woman walks through our doors at OxFit saying almost the exact same thing. I think I'm in perimenopause. Maybe, not really sure what it is, but I'd like some help understanding what's happening to my body, or my body doesn't feel like mine anymore, and I just don't know what to do or where to start. And friend, I get it. I'm right there with you. I'm starting this journey myself, getting my own labs done, asking all the questions, trying to figure out what my body needs. So when I say I understand the confusion, the frustration, the middle of the night Googling sessions, wondering if what you're experiencing is normal, I mean it. I'm living it too. So you're not alone. You don't have to navigate this by yourself. You don't have to figure it all out through random internet searches at 2 a.m. Yes, there's information out there, maybe too much information, honestly. But what you really need is support, community, and a clear, actionable plan that actually works. And that's exactly what we're building at OxFit, a community where you can show up and be surrounded by women who totally get it. Women experiencing the same weird symptoms, asking the same questions, sharing the same frustrations. And you'll have a coach who's not just studied this stuff, but who's walking through it right alongside you. Someone who sees you, believes in you, and knows exactly how to help you feel like yourself again. Or honestly, even better than before. Now, before we jump into the good stuff, the training and nutrition strategies that are going to change your life, I need to say something important. Please go get your labs done or your blood work. Full blood work, hormone panels, all of it. And work with a doctor who truly understands perimenopause and can help you interpret those numbers. Here's why this matters. I can absolutely help you with strength training. I can dial in your nutrition. I can coach you, hold you accountable, and celebrate every win with you. That's my zone, and I'm really good at it, but I'm not a doctor. The hormonal piece of what's happening in your body needs medical expertise. Getting your baseline labs gives you and your healthcare team actual data to work with, not just guesswork. You'll know where your estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, vitamin D, all those important markers actually sit. That information is pure gold. Think of it like building your dream team. So your doctor handles the medical side, the labs, potentially hormone therapy, if that's right for you, monitoring your overall health. And then OxFit handles the fitness and nutrition side, the strength training that protects your muscles and bones, the protein that supports your metabolism, the community and accountability that keeps you showing up for yourself. And together, we're creating a complete support system designed specifically for you. You deserve both sides of this equation, and you need both sides. So today we're breaking down the top 5 things women experience during perimenopause. But more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how the right approach to strength training and nutrition can help you not just survive this season, but actually thrive through it and come out stronger, more confident, and more empowered on the other side. Because that's what we're really after here, not just getting through it, but absolutely crushing it. Ready to feel seen, heard, and armed with some real solutions? Then let's dive in. So let's start with what might be the most confusing symptom of perimenopause, which involves absolute hormonal chaos that causes various symptoms, including sleep issues and mood changes. Estrogen and progesterone start to tank and our hormone levels go crazy. If you're just tuning in, some of you listening may be asking, Peri-What? Well, here's another specific definition for you. Dr. Mary Claire Haver, who's an expert menopause practitioner and female health researcher, has one for us. She has been on both Mel Robbins' podcasts and Huberman Lab, if you're a podcaster, and describes perimenopause as starting 7 to 10 years before your last period, typically between ages 35 and 45. But here's the tricky part. It's much more than just irregular periods. Dr. Amy Shaw, another expert on women's nutrition and hormone health, who was also just recently on Mel Robbins' podcast, gave one of the best analogies I've ever heard, and it's just relatable. She compared perimenopause to squeezing a tube of toothpaste when you're almost out. Sometimes you squeeze and get nothing. Sometimes you get a full squeeze. Sometimes it just splatters everywhere. And that's what your hormones are doing. 1 month you might feel almost normal. The next month your estrogen and progesterone are bottoming out and you're dealing with brain fog, irritability, and feeling like you're just not yourself. So let's talk about how OxFit can help with perimenopause symptoms. Well, your brain is foggy and your mood is unpredictable. And that's when exercise becomes literal medicine, because strength training and nutrition coaching that we provide at OxFit help improve cognitive function, stabilize mood, reduce or eliminate a lot of the hormonal chaos. Because when you're lifting weights and eating high quality foods, you're increasing blood flow to your brain, releasing endorphins, and removing the inflammation in your body so that you can remove the brain fog and stabilize your mood and energy levels. And if you've been at OxFit, and you've just started a new routine at OxFit and just a couple weeks in, you go, why am I feeling, so much happier and so much energetic and I'm not crashing at 3 p.m. It is that. It's literally your blood flow increasing to your brain, releasing endorphins and removing inflammation in your body so that you can stabilize your mood and energy levels. So really, really powerful stuff. This next one is often the first red flag women notice and where things get really frustrating for women. You're doing the same things you've always done, but suddenly your pants don't fit. Declining estrogen during perimenopause can lead to visceral fat accumulation, and you might notice this redistributing to your midsection, that nasty, stubborn stomach fat. And this is the fat stored deep in those stomach layers. It's metabolically active and is linked to higher inflammation and stress levels, so directly affected by this season. One of the voices I trust most on this topic is Dr. Stacy Sims, and she's one of the leading researchers on how women's bodies respond to training and nutrition across different stages of life, especially perimenopause and menopause. And in her conversation on the Diary of the CEO podcast, Dr. Sims explained that as estrogen levels begin to decline, the body's ability to maintain and build muscle also decreases. And that's a big deal because muscle isn't just about how we look. This isn't about vanity. This is about metabolic health because muscle helps regulate blood sugar. It's about bone density, which protects us from fractures and osteoporosis. And it's about longevity because maintaining muscle is one of the strongest predictors of independence and quality of life as we age. So when women notice they're losing strength or feeling softer despite doing the same workouts they've always done, it's not because they're doing something wrong. It's because their bodies are changing and they need a training and nutrition approach that actually supports that change. And this is how OxFit can help with these perimenopause symptoms. So lifting weights is non-negotiable. Strength training helps your body burn stubborn belly fat while building muscle that keeps your metabolism strong. Basically, you need to lift heavy things. You need to challenge your muscles. This is about preserving your muscle mass and sending signals to your bones to stay strong. The strong, not skinny phase isn't just a trend. It's an actual survival strategy. And inside our coaching program, we take a really intentional step-by-step approach to nutrition. We don't jump straight into macronutrient counting and numbers. In the first phase, we focus on awareness, helping clients understand food quality, consistency, and how different foods make their bodies feel. And then once that foundation is in place, we move into phase 2, where we dial things in more precisely and start tracking those macronutrients with a really strong emphasis on protein intake. And here's why that matters so much during this stage of life, during perimenopause. Higher protein intake is needed as individuals age due to increased protein resistance, affecting muscle protein synthesis. We just don't make muscle as well as we used to. And we're talking about 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight is needed. And that's significantly more than especially what most women are eating right now. Think of protein as the building blocks your muscles desperately need during this transitional time. All right, next one. So let's talk sleep a little bit. And let's be honest, when you can't sleep, everything else falls apart. Sleep disruption is a major symptom of perimenopause, often accompanied by night sweats and hot flashes a little bit later as we approach menopause. Mel Robbins has been incredibly open about her own menopause struggles. She emphasized that sleep issues are one of the most debilitating symptoms because they cascade into everything else: mood, energy, your ability to make good food choices, and your motivation even to exercise. Regular strength training improves sleep quality by helping regulate your circadian rhythm and reducing stress hormones. But here's the key. You need to time it right. Intense workouts too close to bedtime can be counterproductive. So aim for morning or early afternoon training sessions. Also, take magnesium before bed. This can help with muscle relaxation and sleep quality. All of the women I'm coaching right now have built this habit, including me, and see the benefits of this nighttime routine. Anytime I miss my magnesium, I just don't get the same quality of sleep. I don't get to that same level of deep sleep. Try it. I promise you, it's life-changing. And then also avoid caffeine afternoon. Your perimenopausal body does not metabolize it the way it used to. And then also alcohol. Alcohol disrupts your sleep no matter what age you are, but even more so in perimenopause, menopause stages of life. And it makes night sweats even worse too. All right, so moving into symptom number 4, this one surprises a lot of women. Symptoms can include frozen shoulder, joint pain, arthralgias, or arthritis. You might wake up stiff, creaky when you move, or suddenly develop shoulder issues that you've never had before. And this is, again, because hormones are declining, and estrogen has anti-inflammatory properties. So as it declines, inflammation starts to increase throughout your body. We already know movement is medicine in this season, in any season, but strength training specifically helps reduce inflammation and it keeps your joints mobile. So the key is starting where you are and then building progressively. We're not saying you have to go grab the 35-pound dumbbells straight away, right? If you've never lifted weights before, start small. That's still strong for you, right? Start with the 10-pound dumbbells and then gradually increase. Go grab the 15s, go grab the 20s. We're not saying that you have to be slinging around heavy weight right away, day one, and injure yourself, right? It's all relative to where you are in your journey. If you've never lifted weights before, you need to start doing that, especially if you're perimenopausal or menopausal. It's not too late to combat or reverse the symptoms, but just you need to be smart still and start where you're at, right? So, and that varies per woman. And don't let fear of joint pain keep you from moving. The right kind of movement actually helps. And again, that's what our coaching program is here for. We help you ease into movement at the right pace for you. We meet you where you're at on your fitness journey. But what you can't do is let fear of pain, not knowing what you're doing, getting bulky, something really naive like that, hold you back from testing out how strength training can actually change your life in this season. And focus on full range of motion exercises, but listen to your body, right? Work with a coach who can actually help modify these movements so that we're still challenging your muscles, but doing it without experiencing any pain. And then when we talk about how nutrition helps, obviously eating real whole foods and removing processed foods, sugar, alcohol, refined carbohydrates, this will help us reduce inflammation in our joints. You want to focus on lots of colorful veggies, healthy fats from fish and olive oil, fiber-rich foods, and adequate protein. And this is what we focus on in OxFit's coaching program too. So lastly, this is the piece that kind of connects everything. During perimenopause, the body can become less sensitive to insulin, meaning it has a harder time using the foods you eat for energy. This happens because of changes in how the liver and your cells produce and use energy. What does this mean for you? Your body becomes less efficient at processing carbohydrates and managing blood sugar. And you might notice you can't eat the same foods you used to without gaining weight. Your energy crashes harder. You crave sugar more intensely. This is where muscle becomes the real game changer. Muscle is one of the main places your body uses sugar for energy. So the more muscle you have, the better your body can handle carbohydrates and keep blood sugar stable. Every time you do strength training, you are teaching your body to use food more efficiently, not store it, not spike and crash, but actually use it. This is why strength training is so powerful during perimenopause. You're not just building strength, you are improving how your metabolism works at a foundational level. You are increasing insulin sensitivity, which means more stable energy, fewer cravings, and better body composition over time. And this is where Dr. Stacy Sims' guidance really matters. She emphasizes that women don't need endless workouts to see results. What works best is short, intentional strength training, combined with brief bouts of higher intensity work, about 3 to 4 times per week. Exactly what we preach at OxFit. You don't need hours in the gym. You need focused sessions that challenge your muscles, elevate your heart rate, and send a clear signal to your body that we need strength, we need energy, efficiency, and we need resilience. And once you understand that, nutrition starts to matter in a different way, especially when you eat. During perimenopause, your body needs fuel to respond well to training. Going into workouts underfueled or fasted for women can actually increase stress levels and make blood sugar issues worse, especially if you're dealing with energy crashes or stubborn weight gain. Providing your body with a mix of carbohydrates and protein before workouts helps you train harder, recover better, and use glucose more efficiently instead of storing it. And throughout the day, focusing on fiber-rich carbohydrates paired with protein helps keep blood sugar steady, energy more consistent, and cravings more manageable. At this stage of life, fueling your workouts isn't optional. It's part of the strategy. And that's what I teach in our coaching program is how to eat and how to fuel your body around your workouts. And that varies per person. Some people are working out in the morning, some people are working out in the afternoon, but I'll help you build a strategy so that you eat the right things at the right times around your workouts so that your body uses that fuel for energy, burns that stubborn fat, builds muscle that keeps you strong for life. So here's what I want you to take away from this episode. Perimenopause is challenging. It sucks, but it's not a sentence to feeling terrible for years. The right approach to training and nutrition can dramatically improve your symptoms and set you up for a healthier future. At OxFit, we are seeing this every day. Women come in feeling defeated and they leave feeling empowered. Why? Because they're not doing this alone. They are in a community of women who get it. They're working with coaches who understand the science behind what's happening in their bodies. And they're following a program specifically designed to address their personal challenges. And the science is clear. Lift heavy things regularly. Eat enough protein, focus on anti-inflammatory foods, prioritize sleep and stress management, and then build a support system around you. You can do this. Your body is changing, but it's not broken. With the right tools, the right community, and the right coaching, you can move through this transition feeling strong, capable, and in control. So if you're going through perimenopause or you think you might be approaching it, I want you to know this is common. You're not alone, and there is so much that you can do to feel better. Come train with us at OxFit. Join a community of women who are all navigating this together. Work with coaches who understand what you're going through because you deserve to feel strong, energized, and confident in your body, no matter what season of life you are in. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time. You're not out of shape because you're lazy. You're exhausted because you've been putting everyone else first. The random workout squeezed between school pickup and bedtime, the diet you start Monday morning and abandon by Thursday when someone's sick, the I'll get back to it promise you make yourself again and again. Not because you don't care about your health, but because nothing fits your actual life. So you get a few good weeks in. Then it all falls apart the moment a kid needs you, work gets crazy, or you're just too damn tired to think about meal prep. This is where OxFit's coaching program comes in. This isn't another 8-week boot camp or Instagram workout you can't keep up with. It's a real plan, training that works around your schedule, nutrition that doesn't require cooking 3 separate meals, and a coach who gets that some weeks you're just in survival mode. We help you lose the baby weight, build back the strength you miss, and finally feel like you again. You don't need more guilt. You don't need another supplement gathering dust in your pantry, and you don't need to wait until the kids are older or life calms down. You need a system that bends without breaking, and you need a coach who won't let you disappear on yourself. OxFit coaching helps you build a strong body and a strong mind, so taking care of yourself isn't something you keep restarting. It's just what you do. Join OxFit and let this be the last time you put yourself at the bottom of the list.